All right, and welcome. This is the Velocity Chaos Podcast. Some coming at you on January 31st, Tuesday, the next Tuesday in the succession of Tuesdays that I believe is today.
The fifth Tuesdays of the year.
Yeah, I'd have to agree that this is the fifth Tuesday that we are on. How are you doing today, Nick?
Good. I'm feeling good. It's been an all right week. I know a lot of people are back at school this time of year, and my girlfriend's back at school, so it's, we got to get her to school.
Boys are back.
Got to pick her up from school, kind of deal like that. So that's my least favorite chore. I'm just gonna say it straight out. It's my least favorite chore.
It is what it is. You do what you do for who you want to do.
And who you care about. Who you care about.
For who you care about.
I sometimes I got to interpret what you're saying for everyone else, because there's more common ways of saying what you say a lot of the times.
Yeah, my words don't come out so good. That's just known.
Not all the time. Yeah,
not all the time. But it snowed. It snowed a pretty buttload of snow.
Yeah.
Front load, I guess it would be, because it's the white stuff. No, but so I didn't go to work yesterday. I had called off already.
Oh.
And
what did you do?
Nothing. It was great. I did some podcast stuff, actually.
Okay.
Get that set up.
Good.
But other than that, a lot of nothing. But when I got out to my car this morning, I hadn't realized it snowed, and I was buried in there pretty deep.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, I've seen a couple cars on my street that are just completely covered, and I'm just like, now, that person's either just really lazy, and they're gonna have to pay for it now because they're completely covered. It's not just like, oh, there's snow. It's like 2 days worth now. So now it's like 3 hours of shoveling, or just don't go anywhere.
Yeah, wait for the rains.
Yeah,
down in Cleveland, Kafika.
Yeah, Cleveland, Kafika.
No. So,
what about you? How are you doing?
I am, as good as I can on the tiny rope that I have hanging on by that thread. And so that 9 to 5:30 shift, that's only going to last about a month, and then kicking the nuts right to 12:30 to 9.
It's almost like a tease. They keep baiting you. It's like, I wonder if it's a psychological game for them. Like, is somebody getting off on this, or
it's almost how much I think they want me to quit, but they don't want to lose me. But I think someone's just like, we got to get. He's too good.
It's one of those. It's one of those business romances.
Yeah,
they realize you're a valuable employee, but they feel bad.
Yeah,
they can't let you go, and yet at the same time, they can't ask you to stay.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
That's got to be it.
Nothing else.
As a collective whole, everyone employed there feels that way.
Yeah. We did some self-evaluations that I turned in.
Those are always the greatest.
Yeah. I said, really, as of right now, I'm just coasting. I was brutally honest.
You said that?
I said that.
Whoa.
But I also said, me coasting is far greater than your expectations.
Me coasting is Sue coasting?
Me coasting is Sue coasting. I said, me coasting is exceeding your expectations of satisfactory.
Nice.
And I'm being underused.
That's always an interesting place to go. I'm not going to lie. It's an interesting place to go. I think I've been there before. I feel like sometimes my skills didn't line up with my last job, and I asked, I said, is there room for growth and stuff? But we touched on this before. Sometimes just because you work at a great company doesn't mean that the individual mentorship is there and is present and understands how to bring that out. So I feel you, man. And I'm curious to see what they say when they come back.
Me too. Yeah. I kind of went, I'm not holding any punches, whatever.
That's a fun place to be, you know, where you have nothing to lose.
Exactly.
And all to gain.
It might have been a little agitated writing it because of that shift and everything. And when I'm told by people that call to me for help that I'm probably the best person to talk to on stuff.
Nice.
So it's like, well, I'd like to see that financially.
Yeah. You should sit down when you actually do the evaluation of the evaluation to just be like, How much do you think the best is worth?
Yeah.
Because you're looking at it.
Yeah. That's how I got this job.
You want to buy this? You better throw down some cheddar.
I heard you're looking for the best. Well, you found him. With a little more explicatives in there.
Well, you're looking at the best.
Yeah.
Let me ask you: when you're done from like the 9 to 5 right now is cruising? It's great.
Mm-hmm.
What's the damage after that? Do you go back to the? What do you go back to?
That's gonna be March 6th.
No. But are you going back to the 12:30?
Yeah, 12:30.
No.
Yes.
Oh no.
It is what it is.
Late night podcast.
Or early morning.
Okay. Yep,
or late night. But it's not gonna be fun. I'm trying to spin it. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I can do stuff in the morning for like 4 or 5 hours because I get up early anyways. But then I just think again. That's what I've been doing for the last 2 years, and I hate it every second of it. Oh well, enough of me.
That's not gonna change.
Yeah. So I'll find something, or something's gonna change if they want to pay me enough. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So speaking of making things better, you found something today.
Yeah, I found something interesting. I think this was kind of like right up our alley as far as our imagination station kind of deal. So,
we got to change the name, the Imagination Station.
Velocity Chaos of Imagination Station Radio Channel. .org.com. No. So, DARPA. Jump right into it. That's the Pentagon's Research and Development Division. They, have been the subject of already a lot of great stories and conspiracy theories, but apparently, in this article that I found on the cuttingedgenews.com, Dina Fine Marin writes about the scientific breakthroughs in 2017 and how they're going to blow our minds.
Nice.
But the specific angle on this article is just talking about how DARPA's kind of retooled itself from that sci-fi Terminator style thing into like biological research now. So we're jumping into they're newly christened the Biological Technologies Office.
So we're crafting the world around us to better help us.
Right. But I love when they put a bunch of fancy words in front of the word office.
Yeah.
Because it always, whether they intend it or not, adds an aspect of mystery to it. Because you know what I'm saying though? It's like the office. It's a biotechnologies office. It's just what goes on in that office?
You don't go in that office.
You don't go in that office.
That's for the Omega Exploratory Findings Office.
That's probably a wing. That's probably a department within the BTO, which is now referred to. But no, seriously, they could have called it the Biotechnologies Administration, the Biotechnologies Department, something way more government official, but they call it the office. And it just, I don't know, it had a nice twinge to it, something good, something mysterious, something worth a story. And basically, I just think they're baiting us to write our own conspiracy theories. So
it almost makes me think I need to go there and sit down with an appointment.
Yeah.
And there's a receptionist and everything. I'm here for the my 9:15 biomedical office visit.
Yeah.
Have a seat, please.
She's like,
and everything.
Please stay in the Please wait in the waiting room, and I will page Mr. Smith.
All right.
Mrs. Smith paging Mrs. Smith, and then you're like, wait, is everyone related here, or is it just And then another girl comes out, and she's like, the receptionist is like, Miss Smith will take you back to see Mr. Smith right now. Have a great day. And you're like, okay, thank you, Mrs. Smith. And it's just everyone's name is Smith. No identifiers.
No, it's very under the wraps. Everyone. Agent Smith, Mr.
they're
Smith,
all
Dr.
Smiths.
Smith. They just go by the difference of their first.
What if like the clearance level was like, if you were like tier 1, which is like the worst, that's like the Smith level, and then if you got tier 2,
Smith.
you're the Jones. And the keeping up with the Joneses, tier 2, and then tier 3, it's like deeper, till you get down to like
some awesome German name, because Germans are
like the lowest level is like, oh dude, there's the director, man, Director Cobblepot, like just like
Chester Copperpot.
yeah. But you know what I mean, like it's just. So anyway, you kind of can peruse through this article, and it talks about some of the things that the BTO is up to and their primary goals in 2017. The first thing I was reading about was they want to create micro factories out of living cells.
What is this? A factory for ants?
Basically. Well, maybe they're going to start just employing ants.
They got the good system. They just got a queen, and then they all just do what they're supposed to do.
If you could train ants to do your work.
Or build large ants.
That's all they do. That's all they want to do.
They just survive. There is no purpose of ants. I mean, there's probably a purpose of ants, but...
Oh, are you kidding me? Come on. Basic food chain dynamics.
Well, yeah, I mean, besides all that stuff. But, I mean, when they're living, what's their goal to live? Is just to get to the next colony or whatever, create the next year's stuff. But, yeah, it's all the lower stuff. It's for food chain.
Or to invent things.
According
to A Bug's Life.
The
greatest documentary of all time.
It's probably
the world of ants,
and the greatest carnival of all time. Or aren't those other bugs?
Yeah. Dude, stand back, Disney expert coming through. Okay, yeah. So they're mini factories that, there's been research on this stuff kind of for years, but like the BTO is looking for ways of. I don't know. Like a lot of this technology they want it for the greater good. It's true, yeah. But I guarantee you, every project has an underlying theme of militant activation. So, like, how can we use this? If you're a product of DARPA, if you're a wing of DARPA, like, come on, like. So I don't know if these mini factories are going to be like. What if that was it? What if like they create these, like they're basically like small cells that can generate. Compounds, like basically drugs.
Yeah.
But they're like a living system, so like it's not just like, oh, you took a hit of morphine. It's like so it's like
took a hit of micro
consistent dosage of it or something.
Computers, yeah.
Microcomputers. But we just like get these like berserk soldiers, right? Like you take the berserk compound and like you can activate it by 1, 2, 3. Like, all of a sudden they're activated on the battlefield, and these guys just like can't feel pain, because like they just like get like the thing in them just activates, and they just have adrenaline for days, and just
that's so insane. And even I mean,
this is not backed up by any type of real background. This is my imagination.
Yeah, of course.
I just need to preface that every time.
Yeah,
we get into one of these little examples.
No, I don't read. Or watch things, so this is all just speculation of what they could be.
This is like a think tank now, though, for BTO, the DARPA's BTO, Biotechnology's office.
That's what we did.
We're the think tank.
Exactly. That's where for wrestling. We'll get that episode out there soon. But yeah, we're just creating stories of what could happen and what should happen. So we got these microorganisms that they're going to inject into us. We got superhumans that they're going to create. At will. I mean, there's probably got to be a trigger like sleeper cells.
Yeah.
Or they know how to do it themselves, and they're like Dragon Ball Z charging up.
Yeah. What about this? Like, how cool would that be though? If like, say like there's a soldier in the field and he's wounded, and he can like activate the morphine by himself that's already in his body. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like. I don't know if it's going to be that advanced, but if you could program these little organisms to release the right kind of compound whenever, they basically have their own medical kit.
What? Yeah, and what if these little microorganisms they like? Oh, I got hit, and then someone's like Wolverine. They just start patching up like the area.
Yeah.
What? Oh my God! What if they become self-aware and then take over the host body? and they're like
Forget Terminator. We just have like renegade yeasts.
You are no longer of service. I am in control now, and that's the voice you hear in your head.
It's like they're so like the yeast and bacteria are so diabolical that they like can't even like, or they like communicate with you subconsciously, but it's like these people think they're going crazy, but it's an actual sentient colony of yeast. But then Osmosis Jones storyline comes in, and the bacteria in the body, the white blood cells, they become sentient, and this person just goes insane because they literally have a war of conscience in their mind, and like they're just freaking neutral Switzerland. Like they're the real person.
They're in a coma.
Yeah.
And then there's just Dr. Smith there on the side just looking at him. Well, now the yeast and the white blood cells are in a battle of survival.
So then they start like injecting him with like they're like basic American like war tactics. They're like injecting like stuff for the white blood cells and dropping supplies. Like, pretty soon it's just all wars are fought on microbiological levels. Like,
and that, even that, I mean, we have like mustard gas, whatever. But I feel like now with that, if we're able to create tiny little organisms to do something like with the purpose,
dang,
just send like airdrop something somewhere and. It's the scary stuff.
Yeah.
Or put it in a water. I mean, there's probably already people doing stuff.
So we're talking about mind control through like biological microorganisms.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's messed up.
But it's also awesome.
But it's pretty. No, it's more messed up.
Yeah.
It's very
Okay. I'll give you that one.
It's scary what it is.
It's terrifying.
Maybe hopefully our minds are too great for technology.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe the human mind just starts to. I mean, that's the thing, like an application thing. If you could like figure out a way of activating certain parts of the brain, you know, they say what is it, 20% of the brain is the part that's
at
active.
A time, something like that.
Yeah, there's nothing like more than that. And Luc Besson already did that movie Lucy, where she like activates more and more of her brain.
Is that Limitless or whatever, the pill?
That's
when you go on the pill.
Yeah, so Luc Besson didn't revolutionize this idea. No. His movie is the one with Scarlett Johansson.
Nice. I'll have to watch it now.
Yeah. They put up the basic premise is she's just some girl in Asia. I don't know why she's in Asia. I don't remember.
One girl.
These guys capture her, and then these like villainous people like are gonna smuggle drugs by like putting the drugs in her body, like in a bag. The drugs are in a bag.
Smuggling
put it in her body.
Inside of Scarlett Johansson.
I could tell you're not that interested.
I'm just making the movie out of it, so in case people want it.
Yeah. So that had nothing to do with microorganisms. That was just all drugs.
Oh, but then she becomes aware because the drugs are inside of her.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I don't want to ruin anything.
Well, something like that. But so we got the microbiology covered. And like this interview, the article's hilarious because it's basically an interview.
Oh, it is.
But the guy they're interviewing is like so happy, just like, oh yeah, it's so amazing, and this is awesome, and this is great stuff. But like, we all know you're Agent Smith, bro. We know who you really are. He goes back home like,
it's the smell.
I think I got him, guys. I think I got him. They have no idea.
The Matrix is all around us.
Right. So, microbiology. The next big thing they talked about was human-machine symbiosis.
I'm going to need some definitions there. What is a human?
That is a good question. That's
deep.
That is a deep question, especially after reading this article.
Yeah. Wait, what do we have control over?
Because once you splice a mechanical arm onto somebody, but it's like permanent, are they considered a human or a cyborg?
I would think
it's just like majority rules thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, if at one point where 50.1% of the body becomes robotic, that's technically cyborg. Well, how do they do it in anything? Is it if the cyborg or the robotics help with thinking at all? Does that constitute cyborg, or is it just having some sort of robot body? Because I mean, there's people that have robotic parts and they consider themselves cyborgs, like whether it be an eye
That's
or
true.
a hand or something.
Yeah, I've seen some cool TED Talks on that stuff.
Yeah,
I watch TED Talks, guys.
I listen to TED. Never. I should listen because they're awesome.
Yeah. So what's your opinion on like prosthetics, and not like are they good or bad? Because like if you're like, oh, I hate them. If you lose a leg, you're shit out of luck.
That's what God gave you. God gave you no leg, so you shouldn't have a replacement. No.
I mean, that's a loaded perspective. No, but like, talk to me about it.
I like that they're coming up with newer and better like appendages for people. Like you see, there's sprinters now that have these prosthetic legs, and they're running as fast as other people or faster. And I think that's just awesome.
Yeah.
That hey, you got dealt a bad hand after an experience, but
yeah,
make the best of it. Why? I think we should be putting a lot more research into kind of, even though I'm kind of against, I guess, going off into a tangent. If someone's kind of helpless, we should kind of do some euthanasia on that one, Kevorkian and stuff. But,
gotcha.
To an extent, I
so you're all for repairing people's bodies, but
to an extent, exteriorly.
Got it. Internal damage.
No yeah, I mean, how far are we going to go?
Yeah.
I mean, there's resources that we might be wasting on certain. It's old people. I'm saying old people. Okay. We're spending a lot on old people.
Okay.
But like I said, it's a tangent. That it's a slippery slope.
But that's my question. Is like as soon as you start getting into that idea of like growing vital organs in laboratories and then installing them and they work, it's like, you know, you just keep replacing them. Like we're getting near this point where it's like, what are like the true limits of science and
what's the population expectancy? Where does it end?
Right. But I mean, if you can kind of like figure out how to break through those walls of like mental disability, like mental diseases like Alzheimer's and stuff, if you can cure that, then again, it's like almost like the brain can indefinitely exist. Mm-hmm. And then you provide like upgrades to other body parts and just keep going. And
then you just keep the mind. Yeah. If you can cure any like mental issues or disorders later in life, like dementia, Alzheimer's, all that good stuff. I mean, if you take out Parkinson's with you just have a cyborg body with with your consciousness.
Yeah. So let me ask you, if you had to lose a part of your body and then replace it with a customizable appendage, what would it be?
Well, I mean, part of your body. I mean, that's you got your arms, your legs, or the penis. But me and my penis go hand and dick.
Pretty tight.
We're pretty tight.
That's how you like it. It's pretty tight.
It would have to be a hand. I would go with a hand.
So you want it tighter?
Nah, I'm gonna drop that one there.
Okay.
You could pick it up if you want, but I'm gonna go with a hand.
Okay.
If I had to lose something, not saying, listen, I don't want to lose anything. I'm glad I have working parts, but if I had to lose something, I would go with a hand. Because I mean, I feel like walking is pretty. I like walking and stuff.
Right.
And to an extent, I could probably still do a lot of things with a hand. And I think they are coming to some awesome extents with hand robotics, and I think probably in like 15 years or so, I think there'd probably be some good robotic replacement hands.
Oh, for sure.
That kind of link into your brain.
For sure. But like, let me ask you, like, would you go for like
an
like
upgrade?
a covered up like skin human like hand, or you got to go straight up Luke Skywalker and just be like like no shame, like I got a robotic hand.
I'd probably be a little self-conscious of it to begin with.
So you want to cover it up.
So I'd probably wear a glove or something. Probably both hands would be gloves.
Gotcha.
But eventually, if they get some spray on skin,
that'd be funny. Either you just wear one and you're just Michael Jackson. That's your new nickname.
Or I only wear a glove on my good hand.
Yeah. Yes. Or you wear them on two, and everyone's like, "Hey, Mickey Mouse," and you're like, "Oh,
oh, look at me! Here's my strong hand."
Yeah, it's just like a psychological break happens when you have to replace your hand. And you wear gloves on both hands. You get your hands blown off, and you're just like,
"Oh god, that would suck having both hands."
You just start gradually turning into Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. I need better ears, larger ears.
Yeah, then you just like, then you just go crazy, and it's just like you're upgrading every part of your body and chop it off.
I'm done with that. If having, what would you replace and why?
I would definitely not just do an arm, and like I see that you're more averse to losing it. I would not. If it got to a level of like upgradability, I don't know. Like I might go for like a whole arm.
You jacks it.
Just
Mortal
like a
Kombat
whole arm.
Jacks it.
You know, it'd be, and like now the trick would be, do I keep my predominant hand and then just get an upgrade on the other hand?
Yeah, that was definitely my weaker hand.
Yeah.
But I guess guitar playing, I should go with my dominant hand because that's my strumming hand.
Dude, if you had a guitar, if you had a robotic arm and like you played the guitar, like you could probably do so many crazy things.
Yeah.
Even if, like, that'd be hilarious. It's like if it is just your fret hand, you just download the tablature
and it's done.
And you just like, or if you go with the strummer, you probably could just make that insane like.
He's picking. Yeah.
Like
this guy they can do 240 notes or whatever, or however, like 90 notes a second or whatever.
You're just going crazy. But see, that's what I'm saying. If you could like if you dive into that with your whole arm, like you would never lose an arm wrestling tournament again. Yeah. You would like play guitar like a pro.
Wait, arm wrestling, you just, all right, give me a second. You just take your arm off and set it on the table and leave, and the arm just wins. Then you come back, oh, we won? All right, let me put that back on.
You high-five your own hand, and then you put it back on your body.
Arm and me, we do things like high fives. It's bad.
Arm and me.
Bad show. It's canceled.
I would call what would you name? I would name my arm Armin.
Armin, my arm.
Army Hammer. Call him the Hammer. But no, so like if you do your whole arm, I keep my left hand, my predominant hand, and I put on.
That's right. You're of the devil with your left hand.
Yeah, missed that whole Catholic school thing. So, but like I'm like talking like, okay, so we got the guitar thing, arm wrestling, any type of instrument, you're downloading it and stuff. Like you could probably cheat way more. You could like download like information onto your arm, and like you could write with your arm, and you'd be an artist. You'd be like, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. And like the visual in your head, draw. Start drawing like boobs on everything though, because you're like, no.
It taps into your subconscious thoughts.
You're like, you're working on a movie, you're doing storyboards, and you're like, and I want the car to enter frame right, come in on this side. It's like, why are there boobs as headlights? Sorry,
it must have popped in.
Saw that.
It was a very busty car.
I was thinking of the later scenes. Very busty car.
So.
That's what I always wonder, like mind-controlled machinery. How conscious would you have to like think a thought for it to do it? Because I just feel like the brain, my opinion of the brain idea is just that it just thinks of like, it handles like so many things at one time. So would you be like drawing something, but every time your heart had to beat like a weird like your heart, it would just be like sketch, boom, sketch, boom.
That was intentional mic hit.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like it'd be so interesting.
Sketch.
Damn it, it's not working. Or would it only be conscious thought? It would just be interesting to see. And that's all programming, it's like the sensitivity of that.
So
stuff.
what if, I know I talked earlier about robotics becoming self-aware and taking over or actually microorganisms becoming self-aware and yeasting themselves into life, like some, what do they call that stuff? Yogurt. That's a bacteria, right?
Yogurt. Just like
self-aware yogurt yeast in your body.
Take yogurt.
But yeah, it's not your arm that becomes self-aware, but your subconscious becomes self-aware and takes over your conscious, and you just become this. I guess it would be primal. Whatever the instincts just kick in, and the instincts of your subconscious just take over, and your arm becomes a super arm. Because
did they not do that though? That had to have been some. I remember either a kid's cartoon. Maybe the listeners will be able to figure this out with me, but it was somebody. There was a movie where like it was one piece of the person was in there. Oh, duh! Holy crap! It's Dr. Octopus and Spider-Man.
Oh,
duh!
No, but that was the hands, the clamps. The clamps were.
But that's my thing. They became. That was like the one part that always freaked me out most about Dr. Octopus, because that was his motive, like the chip fried, and then made him evil. The Claus is what made him evil. He wasn't just because he was like, and I think that's interesting because he's one of the few kind of like the villains I feel like no, I shouldn't say few, but
I don't know enough.
There's a lot of villains that are just evil or really subconsciously evil, and then they get their villain powers. But Dr. Octopus was one of those guys who's friends with Peter Parker.
Yeah. He's a cool. I loved his character.
Yeah, and he was so nice. And when Alfred Molina played him in the second one, you're like, hey, Alfred Molina, and then all of a sudden the chip fries
just goes crazy. But it was okay. Real quick, you said his claws,
his
clamps. He would have been an awesome Santa Claus.
Alfred Molina.
No,
Dr. Octopus.
That would have been like. Come down the chimney, clank, 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 clank. What's that sound you hear? We'd have to rework all the Christmas songs.
Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus.
Who's got a beard so white? Must be Santa. Who's got 4 arms made of metal? Must be Santa.
Clamp.
Who's got clamps? That clamp real tight.
all the Tim Allen movies would just go in a totally different direction.
Yeah.
Maybe. You inherited. You just killed Santa Octopus. Claus. Here, you need to put on this backpack of robotic arms. And then we're going to strike you with radiation. And then you're going to put on the red suit. Yeah. By that point, he's like, oh, my God, what do I have to do? Oh, you also have to gain like 200 pounds.
Yeah, at least.
Here's a protein bar. Oh. Shut up, Bernard.
Stupid Bernard.
Bernard was my favorite character. I didn't want to be anybody else in that movie except Bernard.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be Santa Claus because that was too much responsibility. I didn't want to be the kid because he was dumb and he was a kid.
Dumb kid.
Didn't want to be the schmuck of the stepdad. Even though later in life I'm like, yeah, he's a nice guy.
He's a good guy.
But no, I wanted to be Bernard.
Bernard was good.
Bernard was like, and everyone was like, gives him a bad rap because he's the grumpy elf. But I'm like, dude, Santa was gone.
Yeah.
He's got to train this new guy. He's the only one. Like Christmas, everyone's like, oh, Christmas is riding on, Tim Allen and the reindeer and his son Charlie. But no. It really was Bernard who saved the day, man. It was Bernard.
Yeah, but he came through clutch. Who I didn't like was the Quasimodo kid. That he was like 600 years old. I can't think of his name. He was like the old elf that had the rules and stuff.
Dude, that's Bernard. What are you?
No, that's not Bernard. Bernard's he's got like curly hair, black hair.
We're looking this up.
Yeah, look this up.
Bernard from Santa Claus.
Bernard. No, I know Bernard was awesome.
Okay.
It's the kid. He was. I can't think of what other movie he was in. It's got to be something. It's definitely Bernard. It's not Bernard. Bernard. I know who Bernard is.
Dude, the elf patrol in that movie freaked me out. Like because they flew around and they were. They're kind of scary, man.
They were
the Quasimodo elf.
Yeah, it was a bad description, but let me try to look it up as well.
The
not Jonathan Lipnicki, but the other
Spencer. He's the. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm looking him up.
We need a name. I need a name to that face. Like I said, Jonathan Lipnicki.
Spencer Breslin, bro.
That's his
who
name,
you're talking
Spencer.
about, and he played Clarence, the Santa Claus movie. This is gonna bother me now.
But yeah, he was my least favorite out of that.
This kid.
Yeah, that's the kid. Maybe Quasimodo's a bit harsh.
Well, because I pictured a hunchback. You're just talking chubby cheeks.
Yeah, and I thought his eyes were maybe off. I could be wrong. I haven't seen the movies in a while.
I gotcha.
But he's just an angry kid.
Why are you carrying around a book?
So anyways,
yeah.
Off of that tangent, back onto microbiology, organisms and stuff. I think, as a whole, we're moving towards a better world for everybody with discovering the ideologies of that kind of stuff, and it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, could be.
The government will tell us it's a good thing.
And
we will eat that up with a spoon.
And
all the while creating our own conspiracy theories.
And everyone's going to always have a conspiracy theory, and that's what we want you to think, and that's what they want you to think. They like to keep people divided, just much like the quotient that you get from any sort of math problem when you're going into it. And really, you do just need to think about things, think about life. Don't believe what they tell you, because it's you and you alone who are part of that car drive, and you're driving on the road 10 and 2 in between the fine lines of life. And life allows you to experience things, live things, dream things. And those dreams sometimes often could be nightmares, but there's happy dreams of the children laughing, and those laughters that cause people to smile. Times of smiling is good for everyone, like birthdays and things of that nature. Happy accidents sometimes happen in those moments where you can find love or peace within yourself to go on and save the world, or maybe even just make the world a little better place by doing a nice thing for someone sometime. And I hope that we provided some nice things for you guys to listen to. And that is my end rant for the Velocity Chaos podcast. Do you have anything to tag on?
The elf's name was Curtis.
Curtis. Oh, what a jerk.
I ruined it, though. You left us on a good note. Now we're on a sour Curtis note.
Sour Curtis note.
Sour Curtis.
I like
that's
that.
It.
The sour Curtis.
Yep.
That's how you do that. They just tarnish it with the sour Curtis. But thank you, everyone. Appreciate you for listening. Check out other ones. We're going to get posted up soon. And love you.
Love you. Bye.